Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which, could be light, could be heavy, can be dark, could be bright, but at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hi. Hello, how
Hi.
are you? Hi.
Whose voice is that?
Um, hi.
Is that
I don't
Mother
know.
Debbie? Oh, what?
Yeah, it's like half Mother Debbie, half like some sort of frog, maybe, or something. It's half Mother Debbie,
Uh
half Durst. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's kind of like, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. A
Okay.
younger Robert Durst. Okay. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. It's because, we're doing so many things on this podcast. Have you
So
noticed?
many.
Are you guys just like are they on crack? Are you guys just like what's are they just like sitting at home watching TV all day long? And the answer is yes, because we have so much content coming to you. It's just there's so many docu-series happening right now that we just can't stop doing. So, and then of course Matt Sharp just keeps pumping out the shows, pumping them out.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Just like Kyle and his many sperms. But here we are talking not about any of that, but 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. It's season 8, episode 14. It's called whatever it's called. Wow.
So I okay. Is it punching down for British people to talk about Southern American cuisine?
No. And the reason why is we talk shit about English cuisines all the time. No American thinks that English food is good. English food is bad. The only thing they have somewhat going for them is their baking, because that baking show is big and we like scones, but like, and English muffins are yummy, but no one is coming for like English breakfast. And like when Sophie was like, everyone just wants some baked beans. No American wants baked beans in the morning. That's weird as fuck. It's too spicy. It's like, what are you talking? I mean, or no spice if it's England. I mean, that's why French food, even though you don't like it, French food is known as being good. French people think English are disgusting. So no,
Yeah, but
English
is it
people,
punching down? Is it
no,
punching
because they are
down?
down.
Okay. Because in my mind, like,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
they are the genesis for, the people who tried to come over here and conquer this land, that it is, they are, the original or whatever, right? So they then punch down on the Americans who had to make grits. Now, I don't
Oh,
I don't love grits because grits to me is a very specific type of cuisine. It is Black people love grits, and I don't know if there is a contingency. Like here, first of all,
Brittany
in
loves
the
grits. Okay,
South,
go on. Mhm.
there is a very rich culture, diverse of like whiteness, right? There's like the Cajuns, there's like other people that we don't know about who do whatever, right? But their voices are not amplified. The Cajuns, I mean, it's really just Jovi and his mother that are representing for the Cajuns. I go onto TikTok just to see what these Cajuns be cooking, and no, mama, they be cooking. Okay, the Cajuns cook. So I always think it's just unfair in the U.S. that white people and their cuisine get a really bad rap is because there's certain cultures like them Italians be cooking too. Now, I say all that to say, grits to me is
Mhm.
born of poverty.
Mhm.
I do not like grits. And my mom is like, "Ooh, grits." And I'm somebody who had grits every single Saturday. And it's not like they're bad. They just don't add anything to my cuisine. But I will eat them if they're available. And it's just it's like bread to me.
I like polenta, which is
Oh
it's
yeah,
corn.
I like polenta too. I like polenta. Go ahead.
Yeah. And obviously, well, not obviously, I like it salty, I like it cheesy, I like a Parmesan cheesy,
Mhm.
kind of like umami polenta, like
Mhm.
whatever. That sounds great. Um, I, my dad, LOL, I didn't mean to call him out, but he will just call things peasant food all the time. He's like, that's peasant food. That's peasant food. And like, you know, and it ranges from things I love, like he will call my imjadra, which is my favorite Lebanese food, which is basically just like rice and lentils and onions. He calls it peasant food.
No, it's
And
delicious peasant food. Let me tell
it's
you,
it's
I make it all
great.
the time.
But he's like, because there's no meat in it, so it's cheap. Like that's his version. And yeah, he would absolutely say that grits is, the same. And when they talk about stews, if we're watching a
Yet he
cooking
loves a
show,
red bean and rice, which is cheap as well.
yeah, my dad was raised by a very very Southern woman. My dad's mother is a Louisiana woman, that just like went to like crawfish and all the shit, like all of it all the time, and just
Oh,
that was her
sounds
life or whatever. And
delicious.
so he it's interesting because when you are raised by a mom who was heavily involved in your life, half of your world is your mom for so long. So it's funny to me because my dad, having never lived in the South and as a man, has like such a tie to the South for so many reasons because of her. And A,
Yeah.
because her family's there, and B, he loves the food, loves New Orleans. He'll just like literally go, oh,
And hang out
even
and
though I
have
have it
the
on,
greatest of times. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's a really interesting tie, and that's good. But what is grits? Truthfully, no one knows. Not me, not you. Now,
it's corn,
uh
cornmeal or corn.
oh,
That's why we said polenta. It's like
oh.
oh, sorry, processed polenta. Go on.
So Sophie thinks that her marriage is over at this point. She's sitting there, her and Claire, her mother, go out and have breakfast. And I was like, is this the Waffle House? Don't know. Two, the girl who was serving them is also a biracial girl. And I wondered what Sophie was thinking. She was like, oh, you're like me, except for your blonde hair and your coarse work. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Um, and so Claire says that she had an emotional hangover from last night. And then they talk about how an English breakfast is good. And I'm just like, to me, baked beans. Have you heard that voiceover that's happening on TikTok right now? Is like,
No.
I loved baked beans right out the tin. Oh, I love baked beans right out the tin too. And I do you use a spoon or a fork? I use a spoon because I have to get the little bit at the bottom. I'll send it to you when somebody does it. It's a conversation between two boomer British people, and I imagine that they're celebrities in Britain or like or whatever. And so they're talking about how they loved baked beans directly from the tin. It's two very posh people like, ooh, I love baked
That's
beans
Sophie and
directly from the
Claire,
tin.
honeys.
Yeah, no,
I
except for theirs like, we love baked beans straight from the tin. It's not that, Chris. It's not that. This is Downton Abbey. Oh, I love baked beans directly from the tin. Lord Farthington Shireton.
oh, right. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
send
yeah,
it to you.
yes.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I didn't mind the scene, like it's funny to see our food through other people. Like they seem like they're aliens being like, is this sausage circle? Why is it a circle? Is it always a circle? And she's and Claire just no Sophie just being like, Mom, I've had sausages here, and it's definitely not circles. And her mom just being like, oh, you said you've had sausages. Like she laughs at that like sexual innuendo.
Gosh.
I've had sausage, it's not round. Yeah, everything thanks different. Is that a peasant food? She uses the word jail food for grits.
Jail food. They wish they could get grits in jail
I mean, yeah.
with all the shit
Then
we've heard about it.
I know, seriously. But yeah, basically, they don't like their food, and God bless. They had some French toast on the side. I'm like, tell me the French toast tastes bad. Tell me right now. You're lying to me. So then Rob texts, and he basically is like, your mom is just too much for me. I can't deal like with your mom. But she doesn't tell her mom that. She just like looks at her phone and then her mom calls her out. And then she's like, oh shit, Rob's gonna get her back. Sophie, have you thought about your plan B? And then Sophie's like, no, because I'm gonna go back with him, mom, in her head. And she's like, you have to start thinking about it. Sorry, well, you could do so many things. Look, just thinking of random ones. Move in together. And then Sophie couldn't scream it from her mouth fast enough. No,
Oh,
no. And
not at
I'm going to
all.
tell you this right now.
Never again.
I had a PTSD moment because that's happened to me before where I could not, like, how in bad dreams when you want to scream and nothing comes out?
Oh yeah.
It was like that moment where you're like, ah! Except thank God something does come out and it's the word no from the deepest inside of you. I mean, when Claire said that, it was like, why? I had that moment. I was just like, oh, because you're a fucking insane person. I'm trying to get away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
poor Sophie has literally tried to become an American citizen, get the fuck away from her mom, who's now in Mexico, and for some reason has willy-nilly tried to get inside this country with no beans about it. Even though England is so great, she won't go back. And then, yeah, she like wants to live with her daughter, who doesn't want anything to do with her. Like
Yeah,
much less live with her.
she doesn't want to have to take care of her mom, and that's
I
exactly what's
know.
gonna have to do. She lives with
I know.
gonna talk with her, have this girl time, and I feel like Claire's trying to make up for the lost time, and she can't. She just needs to move on and get with Sophie, however she is now. But the way she's doing it is by meddling in Sophie's relationship. Claire says that Sophie makes great decisions, except for Rob. And part of me is like, one, I don't think she does. That feels false or wrong. But two, that's a great compliment. Like, I wish that I could have on record one of my parents being like, "Well, Wyman makes great decisions." So I usually just trust everything she says, which they wouldn't say. But anytime they need something, they skip over the two grown adults in their 30s, staunchly in their 30s, that live within stone's throw from them and call me. And like, Wahima, help us do this. And I was like, I'm sorry, I am in the middle of this country trying to figure it out. You talk to those two that are there. So, anyways, except for Rob, she feels like. So she's like, can you tell me what let me just tell you what I think you should do. Just like, no, girl, no,
Claire,
girl.
why? No offense. You know who doesn't make great decisions? You. Look at
I
this
mean,
top.
that shirt
That's an
is
Angela top,
that is a
like
crime. Oh, speaking of Angela, that is a crime. But here's the reason why. It's because Angela plus Molly equals Claire.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't have a brain anymore. It's like blown in the back of my head all over the wall behind me. I don't know. I
Angela
mean,
plus
yeah.
Molly equals
Yes.
Claire. And it is so true.
Yes.
Thank you, Mary Pants, for that. Check out Mary Pants on Instagram. Instagram. So now they're like, okay, we got to go over there. And Claire's like, I need to go over there with you because I need to make sure you make the right choice, which is the choice that I want you to make, which is to pack all your shit up and leave.
Yep.
So they get to the house. Claire needs help getting up the stairs. And Sophie's like, I didn't even think about the stairs. And I was like, wow. And not to say she doesn't love her mom, but she didn't even think about the stairs. It's hilarious. So they get to the house. They get in. He buys her a stuffed animal. And I've never seen someone so happy to see a stuffed animal.
Okay. Yeah, this was telling. First of all, I think that people who didn't have like enough mothering and enough comfort from their mothers like tend to like stuffed animals and things from their youth like much more to bring comfort. And I understand this. I get Sophie a lot. Anyway, God bless. It's this big pink cartoon creature, and then and then it turns inside out, and you can put obviously your hand up its asshole, and then inside of that was a small one, and the small one changes from happy to sad, and Sophie is like, oh no, let me say, we were online and we saw it, and we loved it because it reminded them of me, the fact that sometimes I'm so moody, sometimes I'm happy, and sometimes I'm sad. And then fucking Claire is so mad this is happening because Claire loves that Sophie is like going to walk into this Rob's apartment and be like, I'm leaving, except that he bought her this thing and she like melts for it because she's only wanted like some amount of love and attention and comfort her whole fucking life, and he gives it to her in the stuffed animal, and it was really manipulative, God bless. But anyway, and you know who knows that? Claire, because that's her like thing that she does. And then so she sees it, she's like, fucking Sophie's gonna melt. She can't be given a gift, whatever. And then so Sophie's like, Rob, I love it so much. Thank you so much. It makes it hard to say what I'm about to say. And he's like, why? What's happening? And she's like, well, I just think, and not because of my mom. And he's like, before that, I apologize, Claire. I apologize for making you upset. And she's like, thanks. Anyway, and then she's like, I'm going to pack my things and give us some time. And, he's not happy about that. But you know who is? Kate. Also Claire.
He's also like, that's what you said last time. Like, and in his mind, she doesn't want to sit there and work it out, which is true.
Yes.
It is true. Also, the fact that she's like, you got to apologize to my mom because you made her cry, which is such a stupid thing. Like, I'm not apologizing for making someone else cry. Like, I didn't physically beat that person or hit that person or do anything that would cause them tears. You cried because you were upset. Like, so the fact that she's even blaming him for quote unquote making Claire cry. He didn't call her a dumb, ugly toad. He didn't say your lips are jutting out past your chin. He didn't say anything that should have made her cry. He
You're a
just,
horrible mother who has traumatized your daughter through your own addiction,
yes,
and for some reason now you are still obsessed with her and making her life a living hell, having to
he
cater
didn't
to
say
you
all
all the
that.
time. Get a
Yeah,
fucking world, get a fucking life.
he didn't say that.
Yeah, that's
And
wild that you
that's
could say.
what would make Claire cry. Claire is upset because she's like, you don't treat my daughter with respect and she's lost her sparkle. That's not Rob's fault that that's what made Claire cry. So that's what makes me annoyed that she said that. And she's like, you deserve an apology. You can't make my mom cry. I was like, that's not true. So he apologizes and it really isn't worth it. She's like, I feel bad now. I feel bad. He's like, why? She's like, because, if what I have to tell you, I'm going to spend some more time at Kay's house because I'm still thinking. And he's like, and there's nothing that he can do or say. Like he can't blow up and get angry. And also,
He can't take back the stuffed animal.
yeah. Also, that stuffed animal to me is like new age stuffed animals. So I was like, what's that? People have a lot of those big round things around their houses, and I'm like, I don't understand why.
That's a thing. Like that specific creature is a thing. You mean?
I don't know if it's that one, but I've seen a lot of round. Like when I think of a stuffed animal, I think of like a teddy bear. Like maybe just old school things. Like if it like came from Disneyland and it's like
Okay, say less.
Jasmine
Wait 1 second.
or something like that. That's what I think of. So I don't know if she actually ended up getting her stuff. I do know that she got up and she went upstairs and Rob is left sitting on the ottoman staring at Claire. And I imagine it's a really awkward situation / moment.
I spend some time at Disneyland, so I'm a nightmare. And I'm also, like an only child, and I, wasn't as comforted as much in my childhood as much as I wish. So here are my stuffed animals that I just have right now. I mean, these are the ones of the now at my dad's house. This baby lady, it's a baby lady. Lady in the Tramp.
Oh,
It
I know who
says,
Lady is.
I know, but I assume you did, but like other people.
Oh,
It comes in a stork thing. This is like la la loo. Anyway, and then I have two of the exact same creature in two different forms. So Marie from the Aristocats, and then this is the weird like stone version on psychedelic mushrooms, but this one is a gravity one. So this one's like 15
heavy.
pounds. Yeah, heavy. And this
Mm.
one is just like a squeezable one. What is this on you?
And what, you sleep with them?
Yes.
You
I hug
recently
them.
got those because I have not seen those in your house when I was there.
I've gotten these maybe within the last like year and 2 years.
Yeah.
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 I have a baby Yoda. Well, his name is not Baby Yoda. His name is Grogu. I have a Grogu, but he's not big. He's small. But that's the only stuffed individual that I own at this time.
But can you, if he'd be so small and you can't really hug him when you sleep?
Oh no, I don't hug him. I use a pillow. I hug a pillow. I haven't bought myself a new maternity pillow. That's what I normally have. But yeah, no, they don't use that. All right. You want to move on to Angela and Michael? Let's get them out of the way real quick.
Yes.
So it says your note is this is unreal. Oh no, that's her note. She says this is unreal. Told all these people about my personal tax income. So she's in her room now going through his phone as she feels is her right to do. Just the amount of entitlement that she has is like wild. And so she's going through his phone like with a cigarette in her hand, and she's like, I can't believe, look what he's doing. Look at, you see what he's doing? I can't believe that I ever trusted this son of a bitch. This son of a bitch. I can't believe I ever trusted him. How dare he? Just giving these people, it's a whole thing of them. Just all talking to each other, trying to get advice to better understand this in this really hard process. Why would he be talking to other people about this process? This is the most boomer statement. The fact that Angela can't understand what that group chat is about, and she's just saying anything, is so boomer-tastic. I can't even like, I can't hold it. I don't, it's a lot. It's just all of the crazy stuff that any of my parents have ever said to me growing up that I'm like, that is categorically untrue. And you just said that because you're the generation that just says whatever. Like, you just
Mm-hmm.
say it. And it's like, no, that's actually not true. Just because you feel that that must be it doesn't mean that that's,
Mm-hmm.
what's happening. And so she's just like, I'm going to call a lawyer. So I don't know, some producer gives her a lawyer. She's like, hello, my name is Angela Deem, and I'm married to a Nigerian.
Hi.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Go on.
yeah, so I need some advice because I'm sitting here looking at this group chat that my husband has with a bunch of other Nigerians, and it is very clear to me that they are scamming, that they are coming together trying to get these older white women from America to be in a relationship with them. And he's got my income tax with my social security number on here, just scamming. I might be thinking too much over this, like, so I need your help to come up with what might be happening.
It does maybe sound like you, unless you have the hard facts, maybe you're assuming some things. Just don't know exactly what your history is, and don't know if you
Facts.
usually.
Facts. Now that's a machine. I'm a human, okay? And my human eyeballs see that people are talking. And so obviously, if a group of blacks, especially them scamming Nigerians, get together in a group chat, obviously they are trying to steal from the white man.
Um, Listen, you're just going to have to decide whether you want to get married or not. That's just kind of on
Well, I'm
you.
already
If
married.
it,
That's the problem.
I see, if you I'm so happy that I got routed this call. Thank you very much, John. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to you on that one. Fuck you. Okay, anyway, ma'am, yeah, I would say that if you need to go and talk to the visa office and get that pulled, I would do it ASAP because, as you know, as you are on the financial hook for your husband, for your, as you say, scamming ass husband for 10 years. And that's if you get divorced or not. That's all on you. And if you don't provide for them and they decide to go on any amount of government aid, you can be sued by the government of America.
Well, I'll
Of
be
this.
goddamned. I'll be goddamned and dipped in dog shit. I cannot believe that this is even happening to me. Thank you so much for helping me out, ma'am, giving me some ideas of what I need to do. I'm gonna go and stop that petition. I'm gonna go over there to that embassy in Dulame or wherever I am in this world, Carmen San Diego, and I'm gonna stop it because he ain't that's some of my bitch ain't about to sue me. Okay. Thank you, darling.
Okay.
You have a good one. All right now.
Yep.
All right
Yep.
now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Mhm. Uh, you guys, Oscars. But I will say this. Yeah, she just keeps is like, like, I, I'll show you an American not to fuck with. She says like she's not to be fucked with, or
It's the
like
wrong American.
they picked the wrong American. And then from this moment on, with basically only more fear that she's in the hole for whatever, she could just go and email. Literally, she could just email the embassy and just have it all be done. Dramaless. She would just hop on a flight, it be done. She'd have the phone that she already took from him that she owns, it'd be done. But that's not what Angela's going to do. Angela is going to have a whole other scene where she goes and confronts Michael to see what this texts me, because he really doesn't know. She really doesn't know, but she just is mad for whatever reason. So she's like, he is there. He's sweating bullets. It's like very, very dark. And she's like, Michael, well, I know everything.
What do you
Everything
know?
I already know. No, I already know it. So just you tell me what I know.
Okay. Anything that you have a question with, I will explain to you. Okay. So, first, we've got this group. The reason why we have this group on WhatsApp is because all of us are trying to get to the United States and we have questions because the situation
Paradise.
is
I saw
very.
it's called Paradise. I know you're all trying to get into
Yes,
Paradise.
Donald Trump, Mar-Lago. Yes, paradise in Florida. But I go to Georgia first. So let me tell you, if you ask me, I tell you everything, Angela. I don't know why you are so upset. Huh? Eh?
Well, I'm upset because I saw how you gave my information out, my social security, my tax information, and these
You
are my
think I
kids.
don't
And
know what
you aren't
SSN
gonna
is?
take my
You think I
kids'
don't know what DOB is? Okay, so what it
date
is
of birth.
I go to cafe. Okay, cafe is where they print the documents. So I have to send the documents to the man for him to print it.
Well,
God damn
yeah,
it! You have nothing else to say?
No, then I saw okay, well then that's here's the thing. The minute you give them my information, that's federal prosecutable thing in American law. We're not in America now, but let me tell you, I'm an American and one of the best Americans, and so it's against the law to do what you did. And I'm gonna fucking
Angela,
what?
Angela, give me a cigarette because I think I need to start smoking whatever it is you are smoking so you and I can be on the same page.
I saw what I saw, and I saw the texts, and I've been looking at them all night and thinking different things, mostly confusing things. I'm confused.
Yes, this is very clear. You are confused. So then he gets up and he tries to snatch the phone from her. There's a random like man with a red shirt on. I don't know. We're gonna see
That's
that
his
next
friend or
episode.
something. Yeah.
We're gonna see that next episode. But anyways, so that's what happened there. You're welcome. Moving on, Gino and Jasmine. So
Oh my
she's sitting at
God.
the park in a bright green outfit on, and he rolls up and he's like, "Hola," and he's like, "I wanted to take you to lunch, Jasmine, because I feel like we need to talk. I only going to lunch with you for an adult conversation, okay?"
Her. That's one of the most how the audacity of her to say that.
I I am mentally exhausted. That's what she says,
No,
and
he says
he's
it. He says, I'm mentally exhausted. She goes, oh, poor Gina.
I thought she said it first, and he was like, "Me too," and she's like, "Poor Gino." Okay, yeah, I can see that. My ear itches. Mm.
Oh
And
no.
so yeah, then they sit down and they have a conversation, and oh God, like I feel like I say that all the time. They sit down and they have a conversation. It's just like, she was hurt, he was hurt. He was like, "You attacked me by saying this," and she's like, "You attacked me by saying this." And so then, he's like, she's like, "But what do you like about my body?" And he's like, "I love them big ass, hard ass titties."
Oh, Jasmine, I like them rock hard, bouncy basketball tits you have, and the ones that are glued to the back of your spine.
Jesus. Glued to the back of your spine?
The butt implants.
Oh. I was like, what? Anyways, so they come to some kind of understanding, and she's like, "Listen, if I ever do that to you again, just take your big toe and shove it down my throat to shut me up." And I was like,
Mm-mm. Bye.
because unfortunately, I just imagine like a long, scraggly, unmanicured toe, and I don't want that anywhere near
I
me.
think fungus.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
gotta be with him, you in those sandals, there's gotta be ingrown, toenails, and there's gotta be, like, fungus ones, like, a lot of guys get fungus toenails, they don't fix them for years.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't want it.
I think I think men's feet should be outlawed, like, I know that this world is so fucked up that we like, men's feet should be absolutely inhumanely not seen in public because they are so god awfully ugly. And, I think so much, women are so beautiful, and the fact that we have to cover ourselves at all is so crazy.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go
Anyway.
get a Q-tip. You talk about this for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds great. I love a Q-tip. So basically, yeah, so they, come to some sort of agreement about being mean to each other. But then she says that she wants him to take initiative in the intimacy department. And he says when he feels comfortable to do so, he will, which I thought was so. He really has been sticking up for himself. Then they finally go dress shopping because he's finally paid for it, and they're going to pick a pageant outfit, one to really win. And she says, for someone who doesn't have any sense of fashion for himself, it's remarkable he has it for other people, for her. So they kind of go back and forth between this blue dress and this hot pink dress. And she could have done this off camera, but now she's doing it on camera. Anyway, she could do her. And then there's this light pink dress that has a butterfly as the bodice. And that one, when she sees it, she's like in love with. She loves that light pink one. So they finally get the nice pageant dress lady to go. take him in, and the pageant dress lady's like, "I'll help you zip," and Gino gets to just like be like, on the outside, "I'm gonna be your manager. No, I know I'm gonna be your manager, Jazz, and I know it looks good, and I know what the judges want because at one point in my life, I was a spiky-haired guy that
He looked
he wants."
so good. Yeah,
Oh,
he did. I mean, listen, I'm gonna help you
oh,
move through your hateration. He was like the like Michigan man or something.
oh.
Like he was almost thinking about going for a pageant and he didn't. He should have. But also like I really wanted her to try on that butterfly dress. She got really excited about it and then we didn't see it at all.
I know, but can I be honest? I thought that blue dress that she had picked out and also went into the dressing room was also gorgeous.
Yeah. It
I
was
it
like a
looked like a
mermaid.
mermaid. Yeah, I know. So
Yeah.
then we didn't even see the one on the outside that they ended up putting on and picking, which was this burgundy one, which I thought was okay. She kept saying it fit her body like a glove. I was like, I'm just kind of okay.
She just
Maybe she
liked the
just.
train. It was the wrong color. That's the truth. For her,
I
someone who
thought so
likes to
too.
tan as much as she does, it's not a good color.
That blue one I think would have been great, especially if whatever it goes. She thinks that, now that she has a dress, the pageant is almost here. It's feeling tangible. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
good for you.
Yep.
Okay, so Patrick and Thais, and we pick up at the family meeting slash dinner, and it's between father versus father. And as
Yeah.
Patrick says, Carlos is coming in hot, and as I say, honey, literally and figuratively,
Yes.
so fucking
Oof,
hot.
that man is so hot.
Yeah, but Carlos is like yelling at Patrick's dad for trying to ask them to give him money for Alicia's birthday party there. And then on top of that, he's like, plus your fucking son didn't ask for a blessing. What trash did you raise?
He's like, I didn't really raise him, so I can't take
Yeah,
responsibility for that.
yeah,
But John is like, what's happening? Tell me what's happening, huh? Huh? Well,
yeah.
first of all, and John is just interjecting himself as much as he can based on the little information that he's being given at the time. And so he's trying to stick up for them. And then Patrick's like, you weren't on my side. You're just flip flopping. He's like, I'm on the side of the truth, which I found fair. He was on the side of the truth. He's like, listen, my brother doesn't need to ask you for his permission because your daughter is the one who lied. How come that didn't get translated? Because that is so true. Your daughter is the one who lied, so therefore he wasn't able to ask. And so now it's done. Bada bing, bada bam. It's over. Now you dirty cheapskate bastard who sold my Christmas gift from 1992, you are a cheap bastard for trying to make my brother pay for rent at your place. And then John's like, well, I make you pay rent. And he's like, well, I paid more rent. It wasn't enough. I'm like, Patrick, shut up. Shut up. Your dad is a scammer and he's been a scammer. And we
Yeah.
all now know that.
Yeah, we do know it. We don't get to hear the translator telling John what's happening because we know John can't hear it, but I would love to know the actual sound of what's happening at this dinner. But it doesn't go well. They fight, and this gives Thais pause because she doesn't want them to be fighting at the actual party. The next
Yeah.
morning, or the next day, they're outdoors and they're gonna like meet up. At first, they stopped by a little market and they pick up some organic apple cider vinegar and that was to treat his blood pressure. I wonder how that works. She
Oh,
has a
should I get
pink
that? I
flap
haven't heard that.
Chanel that she's showcasing for this ep. I don't know if it's real or not. I will say that Elise loves the chain, but for me, the chain looks a little thin to be real. Here we are though, meeting Thais's friends in the park, or not in the park, for later at the restaurant. Patrick has never met them before, which I thought was interesting. Like what the fuck? Like he came and had a whole apartment there, dated her for, and then they would have never met any of her friends. She really kept him on the DL. Like
She did.
she really was like, I don't think it's going to work out. And then suddenly it absolutely fucking did.
I don't know. Maybe she just didn't want to introduce her hungry ass friends because that friend came there almost tittied out. Like, and then,
Natalia?
yeah, then they came in hot. Like, Carol was chill, Natalia was not. I was like, first of all, okay, I get it. She probably watched a couple of episodes of 90 Day Fiancé and understood the assignment. But my girl, what you are fighting Patrick about is from 90 Day Fiancé, their first season.
Yeah, we don't
Like,
care. She doesn't
we
care. She's
don't
a whole ass kid.
She's a whole ass kid now. I don't care that he, quote, stole her. She's a grown woman who decided to go to the US. And like for you to try to come at him because he kissed a girl before they were in a relationship is crazy. Like they got bigger fish to fry now. They have a whole life to take care of. And it's like Emily bringing up the stupid
Yes.
girlfriend from the past too. It was just like Carol came in real like guns blazing.
Yeah, it was weird because at first when and then John is there Johning it up, I was like, this could go fun. Like maybe he can like flirt with these two girls or whatever. And they're at first like flirting, and then and like at one point they start talking about cuckolding, which I was like, what? What are you
Yeah.
going to say about this? And then it turns nasty fast. And this part was confusing because yeah, she's like, John's an asshole or and a bad mal influence on you. And then John's like, you slut. When I was like, you slut? Like
Listen,
John,
calling John an asshole without even knowing him, he can call her a slut. You came here with your titties out.
no, those titties. Listen, John came for me with my titties out. So I don't know what side you're on, but I think titties can be out. I think titties are allowed to be out. And you don't have to call someone a slut. I
I
definitely
think
don't
that's so too, but I also don't think
Oh,
you call somebody an asshole. Like I don't know. I just feel like at some point that when the gloves get off, the gloves are off. Like and maybe that's just me. Like I don't have a chill. Once I get there, once the line has been crossed, once somebody calls me a bitch, I'm calling you everything. I'm calling you everything.
the
Okay?
C word?
I
The
don't
C
use
word?
I don't use that word.
Well, you said everything.
Well, everything in my in my repertoire,
Okay.
in my diary,
Um,
everything that
in
I
your
say.
diary. Dear
Mhm,
diary,
mhm.
today I met a
So
boy.
is
Okay.
that a Britney Spears song? Okay. So yeah, she throws a drink at him, which he's used to, so it's fine. Moving on to Emily and Kobe. Uh so they're in the living room with Scarlett, and I didn't see what she actually threw,
Like a piece
but
of tape.
she obviously just went hamburglar on it. Yeah.
She threw this thing, and we all tried to see where it would have gone in front of her, but it in fact went behind her, and it was just like, uh she tried so hard to throw it at she tried so hard to throw it at her grandparents, and it went the opposite way. And her grandma's just like, oh girl, next time towards us, girl, next time throw it here, in fact, so that part just like lol. But it's the last chance to call it out because it's the little to do ritual of the fulfillment of the diary list. And of course this it means Kobe and his family that they can in fact take care of Emily and all of her wanton desires, which is chef's kiss.
Yeah.
So they go out and they're like, well, first on first, where's that goat? And then, there's the goat, a little heart-shaped sign on it. That's cute. And then they go over everything. They're like, okay, the last thing is the bride pays. I'm like, Emily, got to leave again. She's like, me? Go? She's like, just where? They're like, we don't give a shit, Emily.
Just
You fucking
go.
fucking get the fuck out of here, Emily. Find a place. I don't know where are your kids, Emily? Can you find them? Emily, like whatever, goes away. And then they're like, we don't actually like count money. We don't like do the money thing. What we do is the leave thing. We're gonna like leave it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, So for every leaf, we'll just pretend that's 100
Franks.
francs. And then, we'll do some negotiating. And so, I mean, Emily's dad is, I think being so classy. He's like, what in
Yes, he is.
Cameroon? Do what Cameroonians do.
Yeah.
He's fully dressed, by the
Yes.
way. She's not, the mom is whatever. He
Yeah.
is. And so he's like, okay, got them leaves. Me think,
Yeah.
I know Emily, so I can't go too much. Here's 10. And they're like, okay. Oh, no way. Have you seen?
Yeah.
Here's, and they were like, take out 3. And then I like, actually, I think Emily's really pretty, but I'm just like being jokey. And so they take out 3, and then they're like, well, you can, haggle. And then the dad was like, nah, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, I don't need to.
Yeah. We'd be like, give me one of those leaves back. She knows she gets one more leaf. You can give her one more leaf, So end up being 700 francs, which is $1.50.
Which is so hilarious. It's so hilarious that the mom was like, I don't think that we should do that. And at the end, it's $1.50. And she was like, it just doesn't feel right to me. And she starts crying. I can't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Mm,
Anyways,
mhm.
this wedding though, Emily looks
Gorgeous.
fantastic.
Gorgeous.
I
Mhm.
mean, and he smiles and he looks at her. He's like, "Isn't this great?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's so great. I wish I were there." Like it is. It looks like so cool. Like she looks
Mhm.
so beautiful. They picked a really good blue that looked really
Mhm.
good on her. You know what I mean? Like it was good. It's good. They are the silver lining, to be honest, for this season. Well, that is it, you guys. We thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to see the visuals of what you're listening to, which you missed a lot of visuals in this one, please join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. You get a live every first Monday of the month, plus the visuals of what you're listening to. So if you're interested in that content, please join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties. Also, I've started a little book club on our Patreon as well. So I've got a book club for just regular books, and I've got a book club for spicy books. So if you're interested in that, you can join that as well. And it comes along with a $10 membership. So see about that. And if you can't do it, Chris will tell you some free options. Chris?
Oh, yes. By the way, if you are somewhat new to the podcast, know that we are not covering Alexi, and Lauren, and Liz, and we don't care about them. So here we are. If you want to follow us, we can. We are at DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties1 on X. We have a Facebook group, the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. We are on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, give us 5 stars and a helpful review wherever you listen to podcasts. And get yourself a little squeezy stuffed animal, give yourself a little
Mm-hmm.
love. That's what you
Yeah.
need. Don't be afraid to do something just because people tell you can't do it. I'm an adult with fucking stuffed animals, and so is Sophie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean,
She's
different generations of adult,
I
but it's
know.
fine.
Oh,
Talk to you
or the
later.
same. The same.